Well, today I'm very excited to sit with Steen, my longtime friend, here at the AMD Advanced AI Day 2026. Steen, we've been working together for a long time, but I think this is the first time I ever get to interview you. So I actually want to start with the fundamental question. Give us a self-intro.
Yeah, well, self-intro,
Yes.
that's a great opportunity. Well, I had, the incredible opportunity when I was 21 years old to get into the semiconductor industry.
Wow.
And, I've been excited by that experience ever since. It took me from my home state of Oregon to California and to Taiwan, where I spent 3.5 years in Asia running Intel's edge computing business. Had a blast out there and got to visit so many great companies, see state-of-the-art manufacturing, see all the incredible innovations in the Asia ecosystem that powers a lot of the semiconductor industry today. And came back to the US and had a unique opportunity to work on AI. Launched the Neural Compute Stick 2, if you remember that. That was one of the first early AI form factors, a coprocessor there. I was working on a chip that was used in state-of-the-art drone technology, used in computer vision and cameras as well. So early days for the deployment of modern AI, convolutional neural nets, and got so excited about that opportunity set that I decided to start my own company.
Wow. You have been always working on the frontier technologies, and now you start your own company. So where you want to head?
Well, I think the biggest challenge that humanity faces is we have this era of abundance and intelligence that we're entering today. But the amount of energy and resources required to support that, both from a cost perspective and from an opportunity cost perspective for the environment and the trade-off, and how are you going to use power to create all these modern data centers. And what in semiconductor manufacturing, I mean, you were a superstar if you took the yields up from like 99.2% to 99.3%.
Yes.
And when we look at like modern data centers today, GPU-centric data centers, there's tens of percentage points underutilized today.
Very true.
Even though we have fabulous demand, and nobody should take my data point that there's underutilization. It's not a demand side underutilization. It's just hard to configure the workloads to make sure that they're performantly running all the time. And then the infrastructure does break because we're deploying some state-of-the-art technology at the cutting edge at a scale and a speed that we've never deployed before. And you're going to run into challenges on that front. So to configure your workloads optimally, but also just you're going to break some of that infrastructure, and you might have to swap some drives. You might have to swap some networking cables. You're going to have to swap some GPUs sometimes too. And the software curve here, everybody wants to update to the latest drivers, the latest model servers, so they can stay state of the art. And so the number of hyperparameters you've got to think about in a data center is increasingly challenging. And at Metrum, what we really are working on is a suite of products that help you figure out the right amount of the hardware for the right job. But more importantly, we have autonomous AI agents that run 24/7 that deliver uptime in the data center. But we're also deploying on different infrastructure, like on radio access networks, cloud radio access networks, and we're even seeing an emerging demand in the operational technology space because they have the same challenges in manufacturing about, hey, high value infrastructure needs to stay up, and that directly translates to improved yields. And if we can improve the uptime of all this infrastructure, then we can reduce our fossil fuel inputs. We can reduce the raw commodities we have to pull into this. So it's good for the industry, good for profitability, but also good for humanity and the planet.
Very true. Actually, talking about what's in the future, I want to bring back a little bit to what we have worked on and what we have delivered together. I feel those collaboration and partnership we built up over the years has been a tremendous experience. But I want to hear that directly from you as to what are the few projects you feel are most exciting?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that we did directly aligned to this conversation is, Supermicro always brings state-of-the-art, new form factors, diverse sets of form factors, and always is pushing the first to market and envelope. And one of the areas that I think everybody's thinking about first to market is the Instinct product portfolio from AMD, and it's easy to say it now at Advancing AI, when everybody's coming on board, the hyperscalers, the main AI labs. But years ago, some of us were the first to run the first VLM on MI300X. And I think what Supermicro brought to the table was a unique opportunity to build multi-agent platforms on Instinct. And then we built multi-agent platform that's, again, solving a problem that is at the forefront is in the liquid cooling space.
Yes.
Because traditionally in data centers, nobody's deployed liquid cooling infrastructure, or a very unique set of people have. And we don't have the human talent, capacity, and know-how. And also there's in these new form factors and these new implementations of liquid cooling, we don't necessarily know what failures are going to occur and how to remediate those failures. So it's a great opportunity for automation, great opportunity for AI. And so, in partnership with you guys, we were able to build out a multi-agent platform that addresses challenges that you find in liquid cooling, like cascading thermal events, leak detection, pulling all this great telemetry off of the Supermicro infrastructure, using agents that run on the Supermicro Instinct-based infrastructure to find those issues and remediate those issues. And they can do basic things that humans don't want to do, like fill out a Jira ticket or ServiceNow ticket, or do a shift handover report, all the reporting that management requires. But they can also autonomously go in and fix issues and address problems before they become major issues and drive downtime that ultimately results in tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Very true. I know we work on some high value project together, such as MI Instinct GPU, but then I also know we work on some Radeon GPU as well as CPU project as well. Do you want to share a little bit insight on that?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we're seeing in the market right now is we've got a great heavy memory footprint, top of the line, GPUs. But the entry of like the Radeon 9700Ss make, GPUs much more accessible for on-premise deployments for enterprises that just want a PCI card that they can scale with and plug in to their existing infrastructure, or in the edge deployment environment. And I think everybody likes to talk about physical AI. I've unfortunately had to work on it for a good decade plus of my career because it's hard.
Yes.
Deploying AI in the physical world is hard. You could somebody knocks into the camera, the angle changes, you think about the algorithm drift associated with that, and you think about all the different challenges of the physical world, monitoring the physical world, it just changes. And so bringing AI into the physical world to add value is incredibly challenging. You do need something that's power optimized, but you still need really high performance as well. And so Supermicro's Radeon 9700S based solutions have been a great way for us to kind of do what I was doing, a decade ago, which is like deploy, state-of-the-art computer vision type models to, solve challenges like, you want to get first responders to the right place at the right time. When somebody has an incident, you got fall detection. Somebody falls on the side of a street, you got to go out and help them. You've got a crowd growing that's an anomaly that's closing off a street, and like those type of the problems I think AI can come help solve. You got missing people as well. You want to find that. And so if you deploy computer vision the right way, you get that. And now we can deploy it in a modern way, where we not only use traditional computer vision models, but we can use vision language models, and they'll not only detect what's like computer vision model will just detect what's occurring and say, oh, somebody fell, maybe let's send a first responder to help them out. But the vision language models will describe the incident, and give you all these additional insights on what's going on, so you come prepared. You understand the situation the first responders are going into. They need as much information as possible to increase, positive outcome for the constituents, and simultaneously they need to protect themselves.
Very true.
So any added information's, really, really impressive there. And so, being able to deploy, AI at the edge and those, those smart city type applications, those public sector applications, something I'm really excited about with the Supermicro Radeon based systems as well.
Awesome. So I know we're short on time. You have to go for your next presentation. But then we talk about the solutions we built together, from the data center to the edge and then to the smart city, and many that actually direct impact our life on a daily basis. So if you have one key message you want to share with the audience, what would that be?
I think, the key message to the audience is, humanity has an incredible opportunity with artificial intelligence paired with, natural or human-based intelligence. And, we can shape our future, and we can shape, the opportunity for us to, avoid some of these dangerous and dull jobs in the market, and well, dangerous, dull, and dirty jobs in the market, and, unlock, the new phase of human evolution. And I think, but it all kind of comes together with the pairing of natural intelligence, artificial intelligence. And, there's a great opportunity to learn and innovate, and the tools have never been better to unlock your own vision and creativity on, how you want, this to evolve in the market.
That's so well said. Technology for humanity. Thank you so much to come join this interview with me, Steen. We'll look forward to working with you more in the future.
Yeah, as always, and looking forward to, Supermicro's continued, time to market leadership and broad-based portfolio, all the way from the client to the data center applications.
Great. Thanks, and have a great rest of the Advanced AI event.